Something I just love about statistics. You know, data. Being an IT guy, I'm a data kind of guy. He needs data. All sing, all powerful, all knowing, but he needs data. End of the AmericanDream.com. That's another side of Michael Snyder. You know, he was running in, was it Iowa, I think, or whatever, I think it was Iowa. Smart guy, totally aware of what the hell's going on, economics, everything. So he's got a very interesting article. And again, when you have data, hard data, not skewed, not fake, just pure and simple, raw data, you can't argue with it. And it is what it is. And if the truth hurts, boy, the truth hurts. So Saudi. But poverty, crime, and human feces, the worst cities in America, are the ones run by the Democrats. Hey, statistic. Is it just a coincidence that many of the greatest cities in America became poverty-infested hellholes once the Democrats took charge of things? Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, St. Louis, Philadelphia, Oakland, and Memphis were all once great cities. But after an extended period of control by the Democratic Party, each one of them has become a festering crisis that never seems to end. I thought that I was going to do an article about Baltimore today, but it occurred to me that the exact same things that are happening in Baltimore are also happening in a multitude of other major cities, and the common thing among all of them is that the Democrats are in control. Control. But even though this is the case, voters in those cities just keep choosing Democrats election after election anyways. Because they don't know any better. Well, I always learned that, you know, vote Democrat, that the Republicans for big business and the Democrats care about the little people. That's what you're told. But it doesn't mean that it's so. So you would think, looking around you, you'd realize, well, things are just getting slowly worse. But I guess it's like the old saying about the, you know, you put the frog in boiling water. You don't just turn it to a boil. You slowly turn the heat up. The frog doesn't even know it. He's just chilling in there in his little jacuzzi. Ah, yeah. And then he dies one day. Not even that day, you know, an hour later, because the temperature's too hot. He just got cooked. The same thing applies. You're not going to be able to say, well, I've been voting Democrat the whole time, and everything around here is just sucking worse and worse slowly but surely. You're not going to put that together. You're not going to think it's because a certain type of person's in charge. Your mind tells you, well, anybody would be in charge. Oh, so you're a governor. So you're a mayor. So you're the city council. Oh, so what? Anybody can do that, right? You're just doing the same things anyone would do. Bills coming to you, passing them, signing, whatever. But people don't really understand that, no, there's a lot to it. And there's hidden agendas, and it's like a gang. Which gang is better, the Crips or the Bloods, the Dems or the Repubs? And then the Dems being in charge, we kind of see how that's going. Again, the numbers don't lie. The data doesn't lie. Let's talk about crime first. According to the FBI, Baltimore had the highest murder rate in the entire country last year. Now that's interesting. Chicago, shootings, murders every freaking weekend. Baltimore? Huh. Baltimore had the worst homicide rate among the nation's 50, largest cities last year, and the second highest violent crime rate overall, according to new data from the FBI. The grim news was that the latest reminder of the sustained cycle of violence that has gripped the city since 2015, when the annual number of homicides soared above 300 for 3 consecutive years after the unrest that followed Freddie Gray's death from injuries suffered in police custody. In fact, it was the highest murder rate that Baltimore had ever seen. So who runs Baltimore? Well, Democrats. But Baltimore is definitely not alone. When you start going down the list, you find a lot more major cities run by Democrats. Number 2, Detroit, run by Democrats. Number 3, Memphis, run by Democrats. 4, Rahm Emanuel, Chicago, run by Democrats. And 5, Philadelphia, run by Democrats. Remember the old group, Run DMC? This is, we're going to change it. Run BD, run by Democrats. And this is certainly not just a recent phenomenon. According to a broader study of major cities, there's a very strong correlation between democratic control and violent crime. Using U.S. cities with a population over 100,000 in the most recent FBI statistics on violent crime, USA Today formulated a list of the top 10 most dangerous cities in America. Of these 10, 8 are currently run by Democratic mayors and city councils, and 2 are controlled by independents. Of the past 10 mayors of each of the 3 most violent cities in America, Birmingham, Detroit, and St. Louis, 8 have been Democrats. All told, the 3 most violent cities in this country have been under nearly uninterrupted Democratic control for more than half a century. So the moral of the story is this: if you want more violent crime, vote for the Democrats. Not surprisingly, there is also a very strong correlation between Democratic control and poverty. Why? Because they want to give everybody handouts. Everybody don't have to work. Oh, you need anything? Oh, we'll just give it to you. But you're only getting the bare minimum, but that's okay. Because you think someone's taking care of me. That's why I choose. That's why I vote Democrat. They take care of us. We got to stick together, right? I want to be with winners. I want to be with winners. But you end up with losers. And you never get out of your hellhole. And you never really make it. Because they're always knocking on your door, letting you know, hey, vote blue. Blue wave, baby, yeah. You like how those handouts, like healthcare, you got it? Good. Food stamps, got it? Good. And look, I'm all for help when you need it. But help is supposed to be a temporary thing. Help is supposed to be, I've lost my job, I need some help. Okay, found a job, I'm good again. Not uninterrupted food stamps forever. That's not what this is, but that's what the Democrats want to do. So it makes people think, oh, well, they care about us. They want us to really help. It's kind of like we go to these other countries, you know, let's not help them get on their feet. Let's just get the food services in there and just keep giving free food, rice and beans, and then we put their own industries out of business because all this free United Nations help is coming in. You can help for a little while, help them get on their feet, but don't just keep going and giving and giving. Get them started. Okay, we're going to back out now. Take control. Control. Like Janet Jackson said. But we go in because these are not businesses. Outside businesses that go across the world and we're here to give in charity. No. It's their job because they get money from the UN and the United States and elsewhere. Now they have a business. And they don't want their business drying up. They'll go bankrupt. So we need to get in there and stay in there as much as we can. And that's what happens. And then they put out of business the local businesses because how do you compete with free food, free rice, free beans, free stuff? You can't. That's why it has to be temporary. But again, democratic way is not temporary. Not only that, let's get people, illegal aliens in. Come on over. We'll take care of you guys too. Healthcare. Yeah, come on. Come on. Andre, let's go. Quick. Speedy Gonzales, like Speedy Gonzales style. Where were we? According to the Los Angeles Times, Democratic-controlled California actually has the highest poverty rate in the entire nation. Guess which state has the highest poverty rate in the country? Not Mississippi, not New Mexico, or West Virginia, but California, where nearly 1 out of 5 residents is poor. The same state, Silicon Valley, Google, YouTube, all that. What? Oh, that's right. That's the same state I told you about. These people living in their RVs, making 6-figure incomes, can't afford a house. Too expensive. So if those people have to live in, I sent you pictures. I did a video with pictures that Dave, my buddy Dave, gave me and said, Joe, I live over that way. I'm going to send you real pictures. And he did, and I did a video on it. It was a while back. So if you got people who can't even live in a house, a normal house, making 6-figure salaries, it ain't shocking to hear that 1 out of 5 can't survive. I just thought of a parody. I can't drive 55. Well, I can't live 1 out of 5. It's true. This is so wrong. But aren't Democrats supposed to be the ones that care about the poor? Well, they certainly throw a lot of money at the problem, but all that money does not appear to be helping. In fact, the Los Angeles Times has even admitted that California's spending on anti-poverty programs actually seems to have made it worse. Again, this is the exact example I just gave you. The UN, country devastation, let's go help. Okay, temporarily help. No, we're going to be in there forever. Giving free food. Well, if you're giving free food, who's paying for the food? Well, the company, multinational company, that just helps when the help's needed. But they get paid. They can't do it for free. Correct. And they get paid from United Nations, countries, etc. that pays them. So they got a paycheck that pretty much isn't going to stop unless they can't ship their food anywhere. So all these countries that need help, we need to get our feet in there permanently, which is why it makes things worse, because you put the local businesses out of business. And I'm sure there's something similar going on here. It's not as though California policymakers have neglected to wage war on poverty. Sacramento and local governments have spent massive amounts in this cause. Several state and municipal benefit programs overlap with one another. In some cases, individuals with incomes 200% above the poverty line receive benefits. California state and local governments spend nearly $958 billion, nearly $1 trillion, from 1992 through 2015 on public welfare programs, including cash assistance payments, vendor payments, and other public. I love the other, man. Other is my favorite on anything. Other. What exactly? Well, other stands for we don't want you ever looking at what that means. Anyways, other public welfare. According to the Census Bureau, California, with 12% of the American population, is home today to about 1 in 3 of the nation's welfare recipients. 1 in 3 of the nation's welfare recipients. California knows how to party. The Democratic Party. City of Rotten. City of Rotten. That is a stunning admission from the LA Times. And poverty is not just at a crisis level in California. It will probably not surprise you to learn that 9 of the 10 poorest cities in the United States are run by Democrats. Referencing data collected by the U.S. Census Bureau, CBS News composed a list of the top 10 most impoverished cities in the U.S. The ubiquity of democratic governance is heightened in this context, as 9 out of the 10 poorest cities are run by Democrats. Combining the past 10 mayors of the 3 poorest cities, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Detroit, there are 23 Democrats, 3 socialists, 2 independents, and 2 Republicans. In essence, the 3 most impoverished cities in America have seen more governance in the past 50 years by socialists than by Republicans. And the ratio of Democratic governance to Republican governance is about 12 to 1. Ouch, baby. Very ow. And even the Democratic-controlled cities that are supposedly thriving economically are still dealing with squalor on an unprecedented scale. For example, one investigation found 300 piles of human feces on the streets of downtown San Francisco. The following comes from NPR. San Francisco's streets are so filthy that at least one infectious disease expert has compared the city to some of the dirtiest slums in the world. The Democratic Party is definitely not the answer, and the Republican Party often makes the mistake of trying to lean closer to the Democratic Party in order to try to win independent voters. But in the process, the GOP seems to have lost the values and principles that once made it so appealing to so many of us. We need fresh thinking, and we desperately need to return to the values and principles that once made this nation so great. This is what I'm proposing, and that is what so many other true conservatives across the land are fighting for. If we keep doing what we've been doing, we are going to keep getting the same results. If we want different results, we need real change, and that means getting rid of most of the people that are currently holding political office all across America. Notice he didn't say Democratic or Republican. We need to get rid of most of these politicians. Strongly agree, which is why I was so happy to talk with Ryan Bundy over the phone of infamous Bundy standoff and their campaign manager. He's running for governor of Nevada. Yes. Man, oh man, do I hope he wins. But, of course, they can use a little funding help like all people who run can. And it was it Governor Bundy? GovernorBundy.com. Here's a picture of it, just because. Ryan Bundy. Governor Bundy.com. Take it easy.